Hello no one. My mother told me that she's going to catch up on my most recent videos, and I'm terrified. What have I said? What have I done? No shit, oh fuck. Like, she does not watch my videos. And then she just swings that at me, and I'm just sitting here like, well, fuck me, okay, I'm expecting a call in a few days. I may very well die. But enough about me, we are here for the SCP files. Most of you are, at least, most likely. So let's just get into that. Now, this one, which is the foundation, proposed by Scantron, which is fitting because I'm pretty sure this is in a school. That picture would say so. I actually remembered this one and 36 quite a bit, actually. Because I think 36 was about people, and this one is about a school that got fucky, and that is, well, presumably where the foundation originates from. Or at least, like, not the reason the foundation was created, but more like the foundation is actually creating the SCPs. Actually, speaking of that, in the last one, someone in the comments, the epic actor 96, 69, I want to say 69, but that's just my brain fucking with me. It's most likely 96. It's most definitely 96. But they actually mentioned that it could, that it is rather in meta SCP. I'm not surprised by that, but the fact that I didn't think of that. So that means I now have to expand my horizons fucking endlessly to see, like, what the fuck these SCPs are and what they're about, so. Oh, shit. I'm not the smartest guy. Let's get into this. So, like I said, this is the foundation proposed by Scantron, and I believe this is like the prototype, where it is written as if it was written earlier in the Foundation's history, which is why the file looks a bit different and different terms are going to be used and whatever. The reason I mention this is because of the fact that I'll have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Such as UIU file. What does UIU stand for? Anyways, UIU file 0041. Surely that would just be 001. It's a 001 proposal, but I guess when it was written originally, it wasn't a 001 proposal. Or wasn't 001 in general. But then why wouldn't they just change it or put a note saying originally UIU file 0041 transferred to SCP-001? Why wouldn't they just change that? Oh well. Altered high school building in blank blank. Confirmed anomaly number 3. Object class is 53, which I'm assuming is... I was going to say middle of the road, but that's just going on a scale of 0 to 100, which I doubt would exactly be accurate, so... Why would they even use numbers in the first place? Why wouldn't they just use the word like they do now? Oh well, that's in the past, so it doesn't matter. Secure containment protocols. Confirmed anomaly 3, CA3 for short, is to be surrounded by an electric fence no less than 30 feet high and guarded by the United States Army's redacted platoon. Any footage or photographic evidence of CA3's interior is to be excised as soon as possible, and all witnesses detained indefinitely. They're getting better with the not killing thing. Why do I have a feeling that's gonna change? Under no circumstances should any personnel attempt to enter CA3 or communicate with the persons inhabiting it. That's definitely changing. However, any person known to have been inside CA3 at any point must be detained and interrogated. A direct military assault on CA3 has been deemed unfeasible at this point, due to the unknown capabilities of the entity or entities by which it is controlled. It's a building. Oh god, is this like the... Is it alive? No, this is a summary, and it does not contain all information relevant to CA3. For detailed information regarding CA3, see UIU Files 0042 through 0218. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. But also, I still don't understand it. From Director, redacted. I scrolled down to see if there was text that I could click that would unscroll a lot more thing like in the last one, but no, there's just, file 0042, so we'll get to that eventually, rather. Known information. The Unusual Incidents Unit was alerted to CA3's existence on September 7th, 1954, when students attending Redacted High School reported that the interior of the building was vastly different than it had been at any point in the past. Upon discovery, CA3 exhibited several unusual, if not inherently paranormal traits. Nearly all the walls in the facility had been replaced with steel-reinforced concrete, although several rooms were constructed of other materials for no readily apparent reason. All exterior windows have been covered from the inside. All student desks, personal effects, textbooks, and other materials expected of a public high school were completely absent. Lockers were still present, albeit significantly smaller and constructed of stainless steel. The arrangement, location, and size of rooms and facilities did not match blueprints for the school, rather. Well, I guess I would infer would be the same thing, but whatever. Often rooms would exhibit seemingly random modifications, although the number of changed rooms is currently unknown. Wow, 2022 and you still haven't figured this shit out? God damn. Shit, it's your fucking job, aren't you? No fewer than 17 electronic computers were found, each of which made use of state-of-the-art magnetic core RAM. Prior to its classification as a confirmed anomaly, Redacted High School had no computers. All files on the computers were inaccessible, and the computers themselves are firmly bolted down. The auditorium is inaccessible due to a large steel wall completely blocking the doorways. So surely that would just be a wall that happened to have a door in it. Oh well. Attempts to move or damage this barrier have been ineffective. The extent and purpose of the barrier are unknown. That's not correct, remember, but whatever. As are the contents of the auditorium. A team sent into CA3's interior to do a complete survey, Team CA3-05, did not return, nor did a second team, 06, tasked with locating the first team. If they sent another team, I swear to fuck. Well, then again, we did keep sending people to Antarctica to see if they could survive, so I wouldn't be surprised. Update. 23 days after initial recovery, guards reported white noise emanating from CA3, the volume of which increased near its auditorium. 5 hours later, the white noise stopped, although the sound of voices were audible from the interior of CA3. Upon further investigation, it was found that the building now contained a large number of persons, all of whom appeared to be wandering aimlessly through the facility. Notably, each individual was physically identical to a member of Team CA3-06, despite the inhabitants of CA3 vastly outnumbering the members of Team CA3-06. So were there multiple that looked like each other, or? I would assume so. Attempts to interview or detain the inhabitants were thwarted by classified. A little bit more information, please. The 12 members of Team CA3-05 were not found. In addition to the aforementioned, the interior layout of CA3 has changed significantly since previous investigations. No mechanism which could explain this has been identified. Update 2. 3 months after the previous incident, white noise was again heard emanating from the auditorium. This time, the decision was made to investigate immediately. It was found that most of CA3-2, the designation given to the inhabitants of CA3, had gathered near the doors of the auditorium. A circular hole, roughly 6 feet in diameter, had formed in the steel barrier. Like just a straight hole cut out, or like blown in or blown out? I'm assuming just a straight up hole, because they would probably mention if it was blown in or blown out. Although the interior was not visible. At 0310 hours, an item resembling a classified emerged from the hole. Wait, hold on. An item resembling a emerged from the hole and was carried away by an inhabitant. The item was placed in one of the classrooms, which had not been previously observed to open. This process continued for upwards of 8 hours, with a new item being produced once every 3 minutes. Most were seen entering a different room or locker, although insufficient personnel were available to track all items. Further investigation revealed that most, if not all of the items produced exhibited anomalous properties themselves. A significant portion of CA3-2 are involved in either guarding these items produced, collectively CA3-3, performing various tests on them. Update number 3. 2 days after the previous incident, 3 identical armed guards appeared near each entrance to CA3. Further attempts to enter the building were futile, as these guards have consistently overpowered all teams sent to enter CA3, regardless of injury or relative level of armaments. A note, reports gathering during the 2 days prior to guards manifesting outside of CA3 appear to confirm that CA3-2 is following standard UIU protocol. regarding the items produced by the auditorium. The knowledge of UIU standard protocol is consistent with that of Team CA3-05. Update 4. During the UIU's tracking of CA6, 2 men identical to Agent Dixon, a member of CA3-06, emerged from a parked car and forcibly detained CA6, dragging him into the car and driving away. Tracking the vehicle for the next 8 hours revealed that it was driving directly to CA3. Upon arrival, sorry, I'm getting really interested in this. Upon arrival, the vehicle drove directly through the front doors, which the guards had opened shortly before their arrival. CA6 had not been recovered. So it's not something creating the Foundation. It literally is just the Foundation. I'm assuming this is the actual Foundation that had been doing shit, found out about this anomaly or whatever, and due to their studying of it or whatever, due to their process of figuring out what the fuck it did, it created like a mini Foundation. The items that it's creating, is that it creating the items that the team knew about, or is that just creating random items? Because I would assume it would be what they knew about, but at some point that would have to be just completely random items that either do exist or they're just creating, causing more SCPs to be created. This is actually interesting. UIU Files 0042. Message received from CA3. On May 15, 1965, the following message was transmitted in Morse code from CA3 on standard UIU communication frequencies. Sensitive data has been classified, and the beginning of each sentence has been capitalized, but the message has not otherwise been changed. Hello, we are the O5 Council, and we secure, contain, protect. We have been shown to do, and it would be nice to be friends. It is nice to have been a part of your excellent... Jesus Christ, I'm struggling. It is nice to have been a part of your excellence, but it is best that that with superior resources, given the greatness, we will control containment. Our sincerest apologies regarding guards and detainment. Workers and secrets kept needed. The time and waits we apologize. The radio blocked by 1 SCP or 2. Expecting an expansion soon. For we spaces, for although away from auditorium. Okay, but unwanted. Alright, 8 hours later. God damn, I'm getting fucked up. The following transmission was received. Expanded now. See the redacted federal building. It is now a functional. Need doctors guard D-men recruiting. So D-class, I'm assuming that's what that's hinting at. Anomalies found in further possible international. Researching, of course, possible. International may be days, weeks to do. Further, we O5 are aware. Sorry to 06 missed. That legible barely. But go between auditorium, not redacted. Goodbye, and luck with your troubles. For further information, see UIU file redacted. Altered federal building and redacted. Confirmed anomaly 10. So yeah, it straight up just created a new Foundation. And they're trying to expand somehow. I can only assume that they have like a different realm, or not universe. Yeah, sure, realm. Or plane of existence that exists within the school that they're able to travel through to get to other places and create a new Foundation building there. That's the only way that would make sense, unless just for some reason it's just like, hey, we exist here now for whatever reason. It says federal building. I'm assuming that would have to be one that... the first one took over a school. So I'm assuming if they were to try to do anything with that, then they would have to pretty much just force everybody in the surrounding area to just get the fuck out. Just move, go away, whatever. And make it seem like a fake town. Like with, I don't know what the town was called, but during Operation Manhattan, they had a fake town near a nuclear testing site. That the people actually working there would be able to live in. So that may very well be what they're doing here. But also with the federal building, that's not something that you'd be able to cover up that easily. I think that's where the thought that a lot of people died in this came from. I'm actually kind of interested in knowing why the O5 Council from the SCP is speaking in broken English, because that would imply that it's either taking its knowledge of the English language from the team itself, which I wouldn't be too surprised if it was made of a few people that spoke the same language, so they wouldn't have like a language barrier. Or that would mean that the O5 Council itself doesn't speak English naturally. It might possibly speak a completely different language that we don't know about. Ooh, that actually raises a question. The team went in, never came back out. Well, eventually came back out. Well, did they actually come back out? I don't think they did. The updates don't say anything that say they did, just the fact that the inhabitants looked were physically identical rather to the team, so I don't think they came back. CA3-05-05, whatever, they went into it and they never came back out, which would imply that the O5 Council had existed already and just for some reason took over the building. So does that mean that the O5 Council in the SCP itself existed beforehand and was already doing like Foundation shit? Or, well, if it was, then this message might have come sooner, most likely. But it seemed like they were just like getting things set up before they were starting. And if they had been doing this stuff before, then they would probably be able to get that set up way faster because they would know what they would need, who would need to be there. So I guess it wouldn't be, because they would be trying to extract the information from the O5 teams and going from there, and as the information rolled in, the more they changed. So CA6, I don't know if there is a CA6 that still has that file layout that would be obvious that it's CA6, or if that had been changed at some point in the future. But that's, I'm assuming, a person of some sort that got kidnapped and dragged in. And it would be after that happened that the message would come. It kind of weirdly feels to me like it's not finished. Like, I feel like if this was were to happen, then there would just be a lot more information being like how they worked with the second Foundation, seemingly. But they may have cut it off there to, one, stop people from figuring out if it was fake or not, but two, to not make this the longest 001 proposal ever, which, understandable. It only has a 548 rating. That's a lot lower than I thought it would be, actually. Because this definitely seems interesting. It really does. Though I think I can see where that lack of rating came from. Due to the lack of information that came after this message, as well as just a general lack of information during the sort of, I guess, not experimenting, but just like investigating. Because it says that it is a summary. It doesn't contain all the information. But I think it's because of the fact that it's a summary that it loses a lot more than it should. Like, it should probably be including a bit more. Which, it's the same thing for other SCPs, where they don't have as much information because they're trying to keep it on the down low, keep information scarce so people can't just call it out for being fake. But at the same time, there's got to be some information given. And I feel like it's just not getting the most information. Or at least the most out of the information that it's given us. Because I do think it could use with a bit more, but with what we have, I think that's actually pretty good. Like, is it the best 001 proposal? Oh, hell no. There are other ones better that we've already read, and I'm pretty sure that there will most definitely be better ones as we go along. Because with some of these have interesting names, rather, so I'm sure we'll find some that are way better than this one, but I still think that this is pretty good for what it is. Now, other than that, I don't really have anything else to say about it, because it's just that lack of information that gets your mind really going. Because, like, you could see me getting interested more and more, and then it just sort of ends, which definitely does not work to its favor, but whatever. I don't even know if this has been touched in the last, like, 5 months. Yeah, the last time was September 17th of 2020, so it has not been touched in a while. I mean, when was this created? The 12th of October, 2011, so that's a solid, what? It was 2008 when it started, so that's a solid 3 years after the first proposals were coming in, I think. Yeah, July 27th, 2008, I think is when the earliest was created. So this came out a bit after it, but I just think the lack of information is really what's dragging it down a bit. Or not dragging it down, but just dragging it through the mud a bit. It's not picking up its feet, and I just really think that it should probably be picking up its feet and get running. There's untapped potential here, I feel. I said that's all I have to say, and then I said more. God damn it. Anyways, that's probably going to happen quite a bit in the series. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video, which will be 36. I don't even need to look at this, I know that. Which, I'm 99% sure that is the last one that I've read in the original series for proposals. So after that... oh shit. But yeah, I hope you'll join me when that day eventually comes. See you!